I didn't have a teacher. I didn't have anybody to like tell me that that's something that I should do. I was like, let's see, I'm just gonna try this. I knew it wasn't about calming or making my mind go quiet because I realized that that was an impossibility. Like, you can't, your brain is always thinking, your brain's always gonna do something.
That's like the one thing I want everyone to know. That your mind thinks involuntarily, just like your heart beats involuntarily.
Yeah, yeah. The soul, I guess that was me, separate from the human that was me. And so that those thoughts were the human Tati, and the soul was now just watching the human human.
Tati Gabrielle taught herself to meditate at 20 with no teacher, no app, just intuition. Within months, she manifested a Hollywood career most people only dream about. In this episode, she joins Emily Fletcher to reveal the morning practice that made magic real, and why every character she plays is a soul she has to befriend first.
My characters have this grand full life, and I only am conveying a snippet of it, whatever piece that they needed me to tell. I try to connect with the spirit, become best friends with the spirit, to allow them to trust me enough to then assume my vessel.
So I'm curious how acting has been a spiritual practice for you.
Well, it's like,
okay, so we've got just you and I live. We've got Amal on the studio and the live studio audience. Amal, feel free to, bring us in questions if you want. But Tati, I'm so outrageously excited to get to meet you. Also, only thing we need to decide is just what we're going to call this. So basically the show is why isn't everyone doing this? And the idea is that I get to interview some of those amazing people on the planet about a time in their lives where they found something so good that they're like, wait, why isn't everyone doing this? And so I know you said like making magic, but I just wanted to hone in on that a little bit more. Like, what's the time or the thing that you were like, wait, I want to share this with the whole world?
well, it's like when I first discovered, it was when I first moved to LA and I first discovered like meditate. I started a gratitude journal. I was meditating every day and I was reading every morning for like an hour and doing like positive affirmations. And the immediacy of the manifestation that I was making, like, because like during my meditation things I would like do visualizations as well, like, and like just practicing gratitude in real time by having a gratitude journal, like the way that my life shifted, because the way that my life was before was I was not in a good place at all, and then fully, like, actively manifested my life to be completely different, and it was like, "Whoa," like, to me, it was like making magic happen. I was like, "That is what people would say literally magic is." Like, that's yeah, so, like, that's why I said that,
Yes.
because yeah.
But it seems like this was your pathway in, where it was like, why isn't everyone having a morning practice to make magic? Or why isn't everyone using gratitude to make magic? And that's what I was thinking about as I was preparing for this interview, is that you've unlocked a level of the video game of life that a lot of people only dream about. And you've done it at seemingly a very young age.
Mhm.
And so I'm happy to know that this was an unlock for you. So now I'm curious, was there a moment? Was it like, I'm just going to sit down and start doing this? Was there a teacher? Was there a book? Like, how did you start this gratitude and journaling and meditation practice that allowed you to unlock this magic?
So it was something that so basically I was going to college in Atlanta. I was terribly depressed. I
Mhm.
had left school on medical leave. That's how on mental
What
health
year?
medical.
What year were you?
20 This is 2015.
Okay.
I was
Were
a
you a
sophomore.
sophomore? You
Yeah,
were a
I was a
sophomore.
sophomore.
Hmm.
Um, and so I had left school on medical leave. My mom wanted me to go home. I was like, I can't go home because then
Which is where?
that's
Where are you from?
I'm from the Bay Area of California.
Okay. Mhm.
So she wanted me to come home and live back at home for a while, and I was like, "I can't do that. I'm going to be more depressed because it's gonna feel like I'm going backwards." Because the
Yeah.
whole like, I think part of it, like, not only was I just, like, not happy, um, in Atlanta, like, I wasn't doing what I wanted to do in life, like, it wasn't the school that I had originally chosen, though I'm grateful for some of my experiences there, but I wanted to do a full artist path. Like I wanted to go to conservatory. Um, I had said to myself, like when I was like 17, that I would be a working actor by the time I was 20. And at 19, I like woke up one day and I was like, that is not the case. And it doesn't look like I'm going to get there anytime soon. And which just made me more depressed. But basically, I I got a random call from my best friend, my high school best friend. She's like, I'm moving to LA. Do you want to go? I was like, yeah, let's do that because I need to get out of here. I need to shake something up. And literally flew from Atlanta to the Bay. That night we drove to LA for me to meet her aunt that we were going to be staying with because she was letting us stay rent free. Just we had to intern and like work at her studio. We went down to there for a weekend, came back up. We were like, okay, 2 weeks, we're moving down. My mom was like, just wait, like, stay home, save some money. Like, and I was like, I can't do that. I gotta go. Um, and she had flown to Atlanta to go start my brother's next year of school. And when she got back, I was not there. And that was a whole issue in itself. But when I got to LA, I was like, okay, I need to do life different. One of my best friends had given me The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And that had already in itself had started something, this little bit of hope or this new fire like inside of me reading it, that I was like, huh. I don't remember exactly how I came up with the idea of meditation. Like I didn't have a teacher. I didn't have anybody to like tell me that that's something that I should do. I was like, let's see, I'm just going to try this. Two, I don't know how I started the gratitude journal either. I was just like, I need to do something different. So I started waking up every day at 7 a.m. As soon as like from the first day that I got there. I wrote my gratitude journal started out as like 10 things. And then I was like, let me just write as many things as I could think of. So every morning I have this huge notebook. I don't have it here. But it was this huge notebook that I would just fill the pages and write as many things every day that I was grateful for, from little to big, like the softness of my pillow to like grateful to be having come out to LA. As many things I could think of till I couldn't think of anymore. I would then sit there and meditate, and I had no guide for what meditation was supposed to be.
Yeah, so I'm really curious about that because that's what I do for a living. Like I'm a professional meditation teacher. I've taught 100,000 people like a very specific 6,000-year-old technique, and you are an anomaly to say the least. I have never really met anyone else. It's like, I'm just going to meditate and then actually does it and then actually sees the benefits. So I am deeply curious as to what the F you were doing when you were sitting there after moving to LA. Because most people are just like, oh, I wish I could stop thinking. Oh, no, I'm thinking behind thinking. I suck at meditation. I quit. And that's the beginning and the end of most people's meditation careers.
I feel that. I guess I would like, so I had some semblance of so I did karate my whole life.
Okay.
I'm a black belt.
Amazing. Well, brag.
Thank you. Why? Thank you. And we would do something similar or what we would do in karate is like at times we would do. I don't think my sensei called it meditation. I think that he
Probably
just
visualization. Like we would visualize what was going to happen. Like
not even that. It was a centering exercise. Like it was more so of like bringing oneself back to oneself. And so I sort of just and that whenever we did it in karate, it wasn't necessarily very long. And except for like our retreats, we would do them a little bit more. But so when I started doing the meditations in LA, I started with like trying to just, and I guess also in theater because I went to performing arts school for middle and high school, and we did something similar as well to get into our bodies. So I started with that, with like, okay, let me first calm my body, calm my like spirit. And I would just breathe, focusing on my breath. And I would go through like mentally every part of my body and just relax my body until I could basically feel a like sense of, because I also had very severe anxiety at the time. I still have very bad anxiety, but I feel like a essentially what is you could call my chi, my soul, feel something here. From there, then I knew that I was centered, essentially. And then I would start to, within my mind, I knew it wasn't about calming or making my mind go quiet.
yeah.
Because I realized that was an impossibility. Like
Yes.
you can't, your brain is always thinking, your brain's always going to do something like, and
Yeah, the
in
mind
life,
thinks involuntarily, just like the heart beats involuntarily. That's
Exactly.
like the one thing I want everyone to know. Your mind thinks involuntarily, just like your heart beats involuntarily. So I'm glad you're not playing an impossible game. It's
Yeah.
great step one.
Yeah. So I would kind of just I guess, and I was, ever since I was a kid, my mom always like, she said I would like sit in the grocery cart and just like watch people, like blankly stare, watch people. Um, just, and she's like, I think you're just people watching. She's like, I don't know, you just were looking at people. And I would do the same thing with my brain. So it's like I would make the soul, I guess that was me, separate from the human that was me. And so that those thoughts were the human Tati, and the soul was now just watching the human. Um, and because I had always realized I like as a teenager, I was a very spiritual kid, and I was like, there is a higher self and a lower self. I found terms for it later, but I realized like, oh, there's the soul, and then there's human. So I would just be the soul watching the human do the things. And once I like did that for long enough, I came to this like, because I'd meditate for about 45 minutes to an hour. I realized it would all start to then calm down, and I would be in this like sort of mind palace. Like that's what I had started to create. It was like this is like I pictured it like a giant library that you've got like books flying everywhere. Like I was a Harry Potter kid, clearly. Um,
I'm reading my son. I'm reading my son Harry Potter right now. We're on book 4, so I'm with you.
yeah, yeah. And so, but once I basically just got into a space of like, I guess watching or observing, then I would start visualizing of like, okay, well, what do I want to implant? Because what reading The Alchemist made me like learn and realize was that like, that's where I learned the idea of manifestation was that book. And I was like, okay, so what I put out into the universe actively is going to, that's what the universe is listening to. And so then I would be very intentional, just like trying to visualize as clear as possible things that I wanted. As far as like being an actor, like I one of the main visualizations I remember always making is like seeing myself on a red carpet with my mom. Oh, it makes me cry every time I think about it. Yeah, just like things like that, just as many things as I could picture as clearly as possible. And I would
Why did you
then,
want to be on a red carpet with your mom?
um, because my mom has had a very hard life. And I knew that, like at the time when I first moved to LA, she was so mad at me for leaving. Like, and she came back and just, I was gone. And so she wasn't speaking to me at the time. Like for the first like 2 months, she was like trying to teach me a lesson. Like, hey, you want to do it by yourself? Then you do it by yourself. And my mom has never done that. Like my mom was always the helicopter mom, the like, I need to make sure my kids are, she was a tiger mom, like through and through. And I knew that she was scared more than anything. And that's what she even told me later. She's like, it wasn't that I didn't believe in your talent. It was that I was afraid. Like, so many people want to be an actor. So many people go to LA to like chase that dream. And she was like, I was afraid that I was going to get lost in that and that I wasn't going to, yeah, I was going to be a little fish in a big, big sea. And that
And
it
get your
wasn't a
heart.
sure, exactly.
Mhm.
Like, and so I wanted to essentially prove to her that I was more powerful than that. Like that I was like, no, 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 this is gonna happen. And I wanted her to be proud of it. Like to see like this, because my mom often tells me that like I have the same fire that she had when she was young, like this like bravery um of, and I'm the youngest of three too, and I think it's partially due to that. But yeah, being the one to, my favorite question as a kid was who said? Like, well, who said? Who made that rule? Like,
Yes, amen.
and so
According to him. Mhm.
exactly. And so that's like with a philosophy I kind of like took through life with even like the ways of society and things like that. Like, well, who said that I can't? Like, and who said that those are like that's the odds of me being able to do this?
Yeah.
So, just with that, I wanted I wanted her to be proud. I wanted her to have something to beam for me, like, and to
Yeah. And has it happened? Have you manifested that moment? Has your mom been with you on a red carpet
she
yet?
has been with me on a red carpet, but not in my visualization has not come into full fruition yet. Like,
Okay.
because like I was picturing like a big like Oscar red carpet situation, like, and she's been with me on like smaller carpets.
Okay.
So I know that that full manifestation hasn't, but it is coming closer.
And if you look, I believe that we manifest for the why, right? That our job is what do we want and why do we want it? That's why I asked you, why do you want that? And really, it's like I wanted to prove to my mom that I'm not going to get my heart broken, that I am powerful enough to manifest this reality, that she does not have to worry about me and that she can be proud of me. And
Mhm.
all of those things have already happened. You've already done that. You've
Thank
already
you.
done that.
Thank you.
And
Um,
from that place of beingness and from that place of knowing there's nothing else to want, that will be the thing where this next iteration manifests. And you know that. I'm just reminding you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that so
Mhm.
much.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So no, I this feels important, like the library with the books flowing. Yes, Harry Potter, but also the Akashic records. So for anyone listening who's not familiar, Akasha is a Sanskrit word, and Kasha means space, and in Sanskrit is negating. So Akasha is like the absence of space, but really it's like you're going into the black hole. You're going into the antimatter. You're going into the infinite void from which there is infinite potentiality. And so it sounds like almost intuitively and likely as a byproduct from your martial arts training and from the like fire and bravery that you had given to you by your mom and also inherent from spirit, but that you did a real unlock, which again, I want to just really affirm. I've taught hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, and it's very rare that people can intuit their way into a practice that shifts their reality, that they enjoy, that they commit
Mm,
to. So it's really unique. It's really special. And on top of that, you are also accessing seemingly like the source code of reality. And
mm,
what I believe is that in order to manifest anything, you have to go into the unmanifest, right? We're
mhm,
99.99999% space
mhm,
void in our cells and our
mhm,
atoms, and yet we're
mhm,
all focusing on the 0.0001%.
mhm.
And so can you tell me like the first time that you're starting the gratitude, you're starting the visualization, you're getting in touch with like your soul is in your body, you're connecting with your highest self,
Mhm.
watching the human play unfold. Was there a moment where you're like, oh, I just made magic, I just shifted my reality, like, oh, I visualized that and then it happened?
Within the first month of me being in LA, or I guess within months 1 and 2, by the end of the second month, I had a manager and I was with a pretty good agency. And I was and which most people, or from what I had been told, don't do that. Like, that doesn't happen.
Nope. As a
And
lady, I also moved to LA I had a very successful Broadway career, got my first Broadway show my second day in New York City, so kind of similarly, like, got, like, a private audition. The director set up a private audition for me for my first Broadway show. I was just like,
that's
"This
awesome.
this acting thing is easy, you guys." But then I don't know, this is so hard. But then I moved to LA and I fully waitressed for, like, a year and a half. So it's like, we all go through our fire
I
at
feel
our
that.
own time. But I'm just again affirming that like most people do not move to LA and get a baller manager and agent within the first month. So celebrating you, bravo.
Thank you, thank you. Like, yeah, like, that was, like, I was tripped out by it. I was like, "This
Mhm.
shouldn't be that easy. This is," and I was like, "No, but I called this. Like, I,
Yes.
like, brought this forth." Like, and so I was like, "Well, then I'm gonna keep doing this." Like, I'm like, and I didn't stop my practice, like, every morning, up at 7 AM, like, let's go. Um, and so month 2, by the end of month 2, month 1 was manager, month 2 was agent. By the month 5, I had my, uh or month 4, I had my first audition. By month 5, I booked my first job, as a
Yes.
guest star role. Like,
Yes.
yeah, and I was like, "Okay, okay." So, that was my, like, and then and actually even the bigger thing was I started to, when I would go out to auditions, like, after that 2nd month, what I started to notice was people recognizing my light or my aura. I would get a lot of people, like, uh, responding to, like, either, like, saying hello and telling me like, "You're like a sunshine," without me even having a full conversation with them. They're just like, oh, like sunshine was a word I heard a lot. My manager
Mm.
also now calls me sunshine. Um,
Oh.
uh, or like people would just like I'd go to a coffee shop and like get like a matcha or something, and like the barista's like, "There's something like really like bright about you, really like yeah, like this." I don't know how to describe that, but as a word, but it was always words in reference to light. Um, and I was like, "Huh," and I took notice of that
Mhm.
because the last part of my meditation that I didn't was how my meditation would end. I would do the visualization until imagine it playing over like a white like I guess like I'd always went from like dark void to like light. So imagine like those visualizations playing over because every time I started my meditation it was in dark, but then by the end those visualizations are playing over like a I guess what would initially look like a white screen, but that the back of it, the backlight of that white screen is getting brighter, it's getting brighter, it's getting brighter, and until it would be like I could see nothing but white light.
Mm.
That's when I was like, "Okay, my meditation is over." Like, I didn't put a
And
time limit on it.
and the screen is basically the thing that you're conjuring, the version of reality, that timeline is what you would see as, like, the film that's playing, and until the light coming from behind the screen went to full white, that's when it
Mhm.
was over. Is that
Yes.
true? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
I don't know that I would do the visualizations in, like, necessarily any particular timeline, but just, like,
Yeah.
as things, like, came to me, I would, like, try to imagine them as much detail.
You, like, see the scene, feel the
Yeah.
scene in the 5
Exactly.
senses reality. Mhm.
Exactly.
Okay. And out
Um
of curiosity, were you submerged inside of the reality of what you were manifesting? Like, were you looking around as if you're in a VR headset, or was it as if you're in a movie theater seeing the reality played out on the screen third person?
it was third person. So it was still that's why I always describe it as like it was the soul still watching the human. Like it was yeah, like I couldn't and I still don't think or at least I don't know that I've tried because this is I was always doing it that way of like of seeing it. But I've never tried to do it in first person. I guess third person visually, first person with all of my other senses.
Interesting. So you can feel
Yeah,
it, see it, smell it, touch it, taste it, but visually you're watching as if the soul is experiencing it.
right.
Okay,
Um
that's really cool. That's helpful for me because normally when I'm guiding manifestations,
mhm,
I do it first person. Like, I invite people to put on the VR headset and be around it. But this feels like, because that was what came to me as I was preparing for this, is like she's unlocked a layer of the video game that a lot of people have not. And this to me seems like the key to that, where it's like if you
mm,
remember that you really are the soul, like having this 3D experience,
mhm.
then there's a level of knowing that it's a game, which creates detachment, which is a necessary ingredient in the manifestation formula. And so if you're doing that manifestation from the oversoul, like from your highest self, then it's like, well, if she falls down, who cares? Like, I'm the soul. I'll pick her back up.
Exactly, exactly.
Mhm,
Like, it's like
mhm.
I always knew that's like, that self was always going to be the stronger, the guide, like, Tatiana, like, herself is just the vessel that is in this lifetime on this planet right now. Like, I could have that the soul could have done many different lifetimes in on different parts of the world and with a bunch of different names.
At Ziva, we really like to help you be great in bed. And part of that actually means getting great sleep. I believe that sleep is a superpower. It's one of the things that is free, that helps you perform better during your day. And meditation is obviously the number one sleep hack that I have. But my number two sleep hack is actually magnesium. And upgraded magnesium is the only magnesium in the world that is proven in a clinical trial to absorb 99.9%. That combined with their 8 hour sleep helps your body not only go to sleep faster, but stay in a deeper state of rest longer. So the combo of the two, along with meditation, is going to make you feel like a superhero. So you can go to upgradedformulas.com/Emily and use the code Emily to get 20% off. This is the one supplement. If I had to go to the desert island and only take one supplement with me, it would be upgraded magnesium. So check it out, upgradedformulas.com/Emily and use the code Emily for 20% off.
and that's I also a tactic I guess I use for my anxiety as well, is like understanding is trying to make that separation in the same way, and understanding that like what the human is experiencing and why the human has anxiety, like, is because anxiety is that gut feeling is different than an intuitive gut feeling. It feels different. It's like, okay, like remember, nothing matters. Like
That's what we'll call the episode. Nothing matters.
like, actually,
Epic.
it's funny because that's like with the question like that was asked of like what is something that you're lit up about that the world's not ready for? Like it's like that was one of the things that came to mind of like I was like that I had this like
We're all
crazy
gonna die.
yeah
Nothing matters.
like right, just like God, just so that we know, we made all of this up, guys. Like
Money
we're
is
doing
pretend. The clothes are pretend.
exactly. Like it's like we're doing this. Like we're and it's like so if it's stressing you out, that's not the point. Like it's a video game. You should be having fun. Like we get
Yeah.
to like this is your like, your avatar and like you get
Mhm.
to like experience and do and whatever and like don't make it don't make it so heavy. Don't make everything so heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. And can you help us understand how you differentiate? Because I think you made a really brilliant distinction just now. But how do you viscerally tell the difference between a feeling of anxiousness and like a gut level no or a gut level aversion?
They happen in two different places for me. So like when I have anxiety, it's all here. It's like in my chest, it's in my lungs, it's in the way that I'm breathing. Like, and it's not, and my mind is like racing, racing, racing. So it's like, but the intuitive gut feeling is slightly lower. It's like I guess the
Mm,
difference between like heart chakra and like solar plexus chakra.
mm,
Like
mhm.
it, and it's a feeling that goes through, I guess my whole body or like 'cause I always say when it's like when something is wrong, it's like I always say the word something in my spirit says no, or something in my spirit doesn't
Yeah.
feel right.
Well,
So it's
that feels like a clear distinction, right? With
mhm,
anxieties happening in the human, in the meat suit, in the
right.
video game avatar, the intuitive no is coming from the soul,
Mhm,
even if you can feel it in the body.
mhm, mhm. And sometimes like it's like I know that I feel like as I'm getting older, it's I do have to work not even just as I'm getting older, I think as life is becoming more, like, I think as my career is going and work is getting busier and things and being in places like New York where there's a lot of energy around, there's a lot of energy. I have to be more focused about telling the difference.
Mhm.
Like, because how do I describe it? Like, anxiety is like, and for anybody that's listening that like that deals with like severe anxiety as like I often do, like, it's it's a can I curse? Am I allowed to
You
do that?
sure can. You
It's
sure
a
can.
bitch, man. Like it's such a like I'm just like, God, why? And it can feel like your brain is overriding like the switch sort of like the soul and is like, no, 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 but like and tricking you into thinking like, no, but I'm the soul. I'm telling you like that's where it comes from, right? Like it's playing your brain's playing make believe as the soul to like convince you that this is everything's gonna fall apart if you don't do that thing or everything's gonna like blow up if you can't get there on time like and it's like
Mhm.
I have to like I'm a very like imaginative person like I have to like if you imagine the brain is like yeah doing this thing in like a mask you gotta like literally walk up to it and just be like yank like take that mask off and be like that's not you're not who I thought you were supposed to be and be more trusting of that sixth sense of the thing that because it like I feel like that's what we all do, right? We like question I think or the reason why we get confused between anxiety and intuition is because science hasn't talked about it. Because most people don't recognize because it sounds like a woo-woo theory to a lot of people, like that it's been sort of written off that we have a sixth sense. Like that is very real. Just because it's not tangible, but just because they can't test it and like sort of, or they haven't like,
Well,
just
they're
because
starting to. They're starting to.
I know I've been listening to some
Scientists
things that,
Science is
yes.
catching up, and also some people
Hmm.
would argue that intuition is actually your mitochondria, which is fascinating because we have more non-human DNA in our bodies than human DNA, and the
What?
mitochondrial are, like, working at this very fast level. There's a book called Thinking Fast and Slow, which you might enjoy, which is basically,
Okay.
like, the critical mind ver yeah, I'll
Yeah.
send
Okay.
notes.
Please,
So we
please.
we got Thinking Fast and
Air.
Slow, and then I have an interview on this podcast with Dave Asprey where he says that intuition is actually the mitochondria that are thinking faster than the human brain. So the instinct to like not touch the stove or the like
Hmm.
turn left instead of right,
Hmm.
that's not an intellectual process. That's actually a mitochondrial function, which the mitochondria are the generators of our cells. And so anyway, I don't want to derail the conversation, but the thing that I think I heard you saying is when you get overwhelmed with anxiety, it's like the player, the soul, the highest self goes in and is like, hey girl, hey, like take off this mask. Remember it's a game. And the thing I just want to affirm is that it requires an extraordinary amount of mastery to both remember that you are the soul and the avatar and also play so full out that you're also scared that you're going to die inside of the video game because otherwise the game wouldn't be fun.
I feel that. I feel that. What did somebody just say to me recently that that fun is danger without the death? And was it Troy Baker
Ooh,
that said that? Yeah, I think it was Troy Baker that just, is he a Troy
I
Baker?
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, like that.
Danger Without the Death, which is a game.
Mhm.
I sometimes will give
Oh, that was
talks
Neil.
and, like I was at like a conference, like Fortune 100 CEOs, so like Pepsi and Citibank and
Mhm.
Coca-Cola, and I was trying to my talk was all about like the better you feel, the higher quality things you attract, and I usually
Mhm.
teach like embodied manifesting with sexual energy, and I was like,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna talk about sex at this particular conference. So I was like, how can I get these people super charged up and super in their bodies? And so what I did is I played
Mm.
this ball game. I had 8 minutes. I brought out 10 blue balls. And I was like, all right, here's the game. Don't let any of the balls touch the ground. Well, first of all, I had them close their eyes. And I was like, what's one dream? What's one thing you want? Like, what's their video game? What's their visualization? And then I had them play this game. I put on like jock jams or something super cheesy. And they're like just like jumping and like diving and screaming as if they're like as if this stupid game that I invented for 1 minute, their life depends on it. They're all amped, they're in their bodies. And then I had them sit down. I was like, okay, now picture your dream again. And I had them close their eyes and I was like, raise your hand if your
Mm.
dream feels closer and more possible now. 100% of the people raised their hand. I was like, all right, now open your
Mhm.
eyes and they look around. And so it was like that experience of fun and embodiment and joy from playing the game full out while remembering that it's a game, I think can help us all unlock this new layer of the video game that you've clearly done so masterfully.
Well, and the thing about that, but like what I hear from that is like, and the thing that I always remind myself is the kid, be a kid. Like kids, to kids, everything is possible. This is why to kids, the idea of Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, of magical beings, of an imaginary friend that is very much there. Like kids I always think that kids are so much closer to source. Like right, like it's like that's where we sort of like come straight from, and they haven't been uh sort of scuffed up and scratched by the conditionings of the world yet. And so, but they have the secret, they have the key of like why for them everything feels that close. Every dream, every idea that they could think of feels that close. And like in playing that game, you bring yourself into being the kid again. Like that you remember that, oh, life is fun, that before you like thought about work and money and how am I gonna like get a house and whatever the case, like it's like, oh, life is just pure fun. Like, and it's still that we don't have to agree or amalgamate with the, is that the word I want, amalgamate with the soc- societal agreement that was signed and made. Like you can still align with the soul agreement that was made when you first got here. Like I talk to the little kid inside me all the time. Like I
Clearly.
mhm, I
Yeah.
she has
She's
her
real present.
very
So
present
good.
all the time. Like because I never want to, and it was something that I recognized as a kid of seeing adults either jaded and sort of bogged down by life or like telling me like, "Oh, enjoy it while you can, kid." Like it's and this I was like, I don't wanna lose this feeling. Like I don't wanna like and I know like sure I have like we did sign this societal agreement to a certain degree. I have to although I more and more do I consider every day just going off the grid and living on an island and, just like growing my own fruit and chilling and surfing every day. But like
Look,
just being
that might be forced upon us at some point, so let's enjoy the matrix while it's here,
yes.
and if we all need to go start our own farms, then that'll be enjoyable too, and so, yeah.
I feel that. I feel that. But I like you can still be the kid inside you is alive. The same
Mhm.
way that like I started to realize this recently with like I have like two godchildren and I have like two pseudo little brothers and watching them all grow up has been the trippiest experience of like oh, you're not a baby anymore, and this remembering this idea of, like, my mom always, because 'cause I'm the youngest of 3, and she's like, "My baby," like and how that is saddening or that they grieve every stage of us, like, that we go through, and the same way that your mom misses the baby you, the little you, like, and cherishes that, so should you cherish it within you.
Oh, oh, that's so beautiful. I was gonna ask you, like, what is your practice of connecting with your inner child? And I think you just answered it, where it's like with that divine maternal love,
Mhm.
like loving your own self in the way that the cosmic mother or your actual mother would cherish that
Yeah.
infancy and celebrate each phase of the development. Like I know from being a mom myself that it's like there's never been a better teacher of the temporal nature of art and life because he'll take a nap and wake up in a different state of consciousness. I'm like, oh, your prefrontal cortex has jumped into a new phase of development. You have new vocabulary, new processing capacities, and new
Oh,
emotions that were not
yeah.
available 3 hours ago. And so it's like simultaneously like a
Wild.
celebration, fucking
Yeah.
wild. And there's a grief there, it's
Mhm,
like this
mhm.
simultaneity. And so I think, thank God I meditate because I'm 16 years into every day, twice a day. And I feel like I've been training for this because otherwise I think it would just be too much, like too much grief to know that like that infancy is gone and that toddler stage is gone and the like hand holding is going. But I think that because of the meditation, it allows me to savor it enough. It allows me to bring as much of my soul into each moment as possible so that I know that, like, sure, there's things that I miss, but as much as possible, like, I am here. I am sucking the juice out of each moment over moment because I know that they're fleeting. And I think that that was the best piece of advice I've gotten as a parent, which I think translates into life, is it's all for now. Like in that postpartum when you're exhausted and in pain, your nipples are bleeding, just like for now. And they're like just adorable little nuggets for now. And the teenagers and the two, it's all for now. And so like both the sweetness and the agony, it's all
Mhm.
for now. And I think that's my way of going up
I
into
feel
that
that.
soul piece that you have quite intuitively.
I like that
Mhm.
it's the being being present. Be like and what that really means, like, it's something that is thrown around a lot that, like or that we're told, like, "Be present," and it's like, what
Mhm.
does that, like? Because all you have is right now. Like
Yeah.
I just there's a song that I discovered recently, it's like, they found a fossil in no, they found a fossil in hang on. Yeah, they found a fossil in tomorrow yesterday. The local time is always now, always, always. Like that blew my mind, and that's the only like line in the whole song. It just repeats that over and over. And I was like, they found tomorrow. No, sorry, they found tomorrow in a fossil yesterday.
Ooh.
Like I was like, whoa, whoa, like to it's still but, like, it's something that I've been, like I discovered this song maybe, like, a week ago, and it's something that my brain has been churning through every day, and I'm I'm like, "Okay, so they found tomorrow in a fossil yesterday." Both of those things, both tomorrow and yesterday, are relics. One is a relic of past. One is a not even soon to be relic, but a trophy that may or may not be there. Like, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. Like, the local time is always now, always, always. Like, this is even like in an hour. I don't know what life is going to be, what that moment is. Like, the, and I can either choose to be here, to live here, to like really take in my senses here. Like, and people are like, well, that's so hard. You're thinking about what you're going to do next. You're thinking about, and I'm like, no, like if I know just at, you know, 4 o'clock, I've got to go to the store. Like, or if I trust, even better, trusting my intuition and higher self enough that it's going to guide me to where I'm supposed to be in the day. And that's something that I still struggle with, like from time to time because of my anxiety. Like, but the way in which that I never forget that it's like that I am a soul having a human experience. Like, whenever I can, part of like my I do mini meditations through the day. So when I'm feeling particularly anxious or when I know that my brain is either in yesterday or tomorrow, just take a second to breathe. Sometimes it's just once, sometimes it's up to 3 times, and like feel my feet, feel the energy like under me, feel the energy in my body, like what's it? Tag 5 things that I'm seeing. What can I hear? Like
Mhm.
literally going into the tangible present.
Yeah, the physical presence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then it's like
Using your 5 senses as a gateway into the now. The 5 senses is the thing that unlocks the 6th sense. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And then
Mhm.
I know from there, like like that idea of like I don't believe in coincidence. It's like when you like,
Well, my teacher says that coincidence that comes from the word coinciding event. So it is in fact a
ha,
coinciding event. There's nothing random about it, there's nothing
no,
chaotic about it, but the word coincidence is actually correct.
ha. I
Mhm.
like okay, then I like
Yeah, you can
that. Like,
reclaim coincidence if you want.
yes, okay. I actually, yeah, I fully really like that because it's like,
Okay.
yeah, because so I rather, I guess I should say, I like the connotation versus denotation. Like, with the connotation of coincidence that people have created of like, oh, it's random
Accident.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, it's like,
random.
no, versus like the denotation of like, no, 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 it's in alignment. Like, oh, wait, where does my thought? No. Uh, oh,
The 5
that,
senses reality, present moment, midi meditations.
right. So like, when you like run into somebody on the street at like what are you doing here? Like, how did this like moment happen? It's like I find that those moments, those coinciding moments happen more often the more present that I feel and the more that I'm following or listening to the higher self because like it's from, The Alchemist, the like it is written, right? Like it's
The
already
cosmic
written.
screenwriter. The
Exactly.
cosmic screenwriter is doing a great job.
Exactly. Like, so it's art. Like, I believe in both fate and will, which is, I guess, a whole conversation for a whole nother time. Like, it's a,
No, because
but
the brain is 50-50. It's 50%
mhm,
left brain, 50% right. So I believe it's 50% autonomy and 50% predestined. And so but the question is how present are you and how much are you dancing with that? Like
right,
individuality and totality.
right. Like, it's like there's points on the road that you are going to hit regardless. You get
Mhm,
to pick the path you want to take to get there. Like, that for me, that's how I look at the fate and the will. Like,
mhm.
um, and so I I have experienced and know for fact that the the cosmic writer, that my soul is going to put me in exactly where I'm supposed to be, exactly when I'm supposed to be there. Like, there is no uh
And
being
like
late.
that that knowingness, that trust will be the exact thing that allows you to be more fully present in the here and now. And my teacher says that the present moment is the future in the making. So doing that thing that you just walked us through of taking one breath, taking 3 breaths, noticing your physical reality, it's like bringing all of you here and now. This body, we incarnated for a reason.
Mhm.
And then it becomes this self-fulfilling spiral of that trust that you have that nature's going to guide me. So I might as well enjoy this ride. I might as well bring as much pleasure as possible into this moment. And then
Right.
it becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right. Like, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
let's see how good it can get.
I was gonna, when I asked the question, like, what I titled this episode is, why isn't everyone trusting themselves?
Mm.
Like, and but I guess even trusting your inner self, your deeper self, your higher self, that other thing, like, why don't we trust that more? Why do we
Mm.
question it so much? Because at the end of the day, like, this is from the time that I was a kid, why my favorite question was like, who said and why? Like, we don't know. Yes, science has told us what we are, what like matter is, what carbon is, what the universe, like,
Well,
but
reductionist science has said that, but there's a lot of other sciences.
right. Like, but at the end of the day, though, like, how can my question always was like, how can a human tell me like what I'm supposed to be or how I'm supposed to live life or how can another like how are we we don't know why we're here, we don't know what this is, we can we don't know why we have that sixth sense, why do we have this extra feeling that like, oh, this feels particularly good and that doesn't make me feel good. It's like, and following those things like has to have should have more merit, should be the more so the rule book than, oh.
I'm freaking out right now a little bit because I just feel like we're so outrageously aligned. But that is like the one rule at Ziva meditation. There's only one rule. I'm like, I'm not about doctrine. I'm not about dogma. I want you to live your dream. But the only rule we have at Ziva is to follow charm. And that's what that means. Like that, this feels good, this doesn't. Like that still small voice inside that's like, turn left, call that person, make the cake, start the company. Like that's what I would call charm. And that's the
Mhm,
only rule we have, is to listen to that thing, because that is nature's GPS
mhm.
as your indicator as to where you need to go to deliver your fulfillment, not where you need to go to fill yourself up.
Yeah, yeah. It's so loud and it's so there for you. Like,
Well, do you think it's loud? Is it loud for
okay,
you? Is it really loud for you, or is it you have to listen?
it's I guess both, because I think for prior to the point of like when I was a kid and a early teenager, I think that it was really loud. Like I do remember as a kid there being this very I also had like uh I guess I had an array of like spiritual sort of little gifts when I was little. Um but my like I could see figures, shadows, people, um ghosts, I guess is if you want to call them. Um, my mom would, like, find me in places at the house. It's like, "This didn't creep you out, finding your kid in a corner, like, just, like, talking?" Ha She's like, "You're having a full-blown conversation with somebody standing in front of you." And an old woman that was a friend of my parents died in our house before we moved in there. She's like, "I always just thought you were either talking to your guardian angels or talking to," I think her name is Miss Mary. But in that way, like, those gifts or those things were very I remember them being loud to me as a kid, and as I got into college, like, they did get quiet. Like, I wasn't listening,
The
and
gifts got
that's
quiet
yeah,
as the depression got louder and as you were
yes,
off the dharma and not following charm
yes,
and not on your path.
exactly. And so now, like, I do feel like especially with, like, my anxiety, and stuff, and I have bipolar disorder, so I do have, depressive episodes. And what pulls me out, my therapist always said, she said, you have a different kind of survival instinct, because a lot of the things that you're not supposed to be able to do when in a very heavy depressive episode or a full-blown panic attack, my I am able to do. I can have one rational thought in a panic attack that'll save me from the rest of it. I can when I'm in a very heavy depressive episode, I can have that mustard seed of thing that can pull me out. Um,
Mm.
and I can feel when it's coming on and do what I can to stave it off. Like, but it was through that meditative practice, and I can say now I'm not as my schedule has been, like, crazy and getting more sporadic, I'm not as good at being as consistent with my meditation every day, and I think that's also part of why I have to manage my anxiety, or have been managing my anxiety in a different way, but always
Mm,
holding on to the thread of what we've been speaking about, of, like, that I'm a soul having a human experience, that that my higher self is guiding, that my guides are guiding. I can always recenter myself, I can always realign, I can always take a beat. Nothing needs to happen that fast. Nothing
mm.
need like, nothing's that important. Nothing at the end of the day, nothing matters. Like, we choose to put me like, my, one of my best friends calls himself a, not an, he's not nihilistic, he's an absurd rebel. Is that what he calls it? An
Ooh.
absurd rebel, or an absurd nihilist. Like, that he's like, everything, he's like, I can either nothing can matter or everything can matter, and I get to choose. Like, that's where the rebel comes. He's like, I get to, like, he's saying, what fun is that? Like, and he's one of the happiest people, like, I know. Like, he's an infectious happiness when you meet him.
I really love that. At least it reminds me of the Einstein quote, like, either you can live your life as if nothing is a miracle or as if everything is.
Hmm.
And it's like when you choose to think that, like, wow, this glass of water, like hydrogen and oxygen combined in two parts to one that makes my brain function, like
Right,
miracle.
right. Like,
Like
that's what I'm saying. The kid, like,
chocolate exists, miracle.
that's what I'm
Flour,
saying. That's
miracle.
exactly the sky. Look at that cloud. Like, that's what I mean by, like, be the kid. Like, because the kid is mind blown by everything. Like,
Everything.
everything. Like, what? What are you
Yeah.
telling me right now? Like,
And
and
then
you
you're
can.
like, taxes? Nothing matters. Like, on this tax code, I don't give a fuck.
Well, it's like those things even trip me out. Of like I've been like driving and things even, or like that. I'm like, we did this. Like, how trippy is that? We were like, we're gonna all drive in little straight lines like ants, and like we're gonna like do this thing, or like taxes. Like, we decided to create a whole system that like makes us have to. We don't get to make, like, no, work for your money. You have to make, first of all, you have to make money to do anything in life. Like, why did we, that's crazy. Why did we take away from our natural, like, sort of just being of like, and bartering and trading and like whatever, to like, that's weird. And then it's like, no, no, no. So you can make that money, but guess what? There's going to be some like big thing that's going to like take it from you. Like, why did we do that? Why did, what, like, and it trips me out just in the same way, like, that if like the kid in me goes, what? That doesn't make sense. That feels so, and nobody enjoys it? No,
Who
nobody
said?
enjoys it. Like,
Who said?
right.
Who
Who
said?
said? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
Um,
oh my gosh.
so
Okay, so
yeah.
so I
Sorry.
to bring this no, I love this so much, and I feel like I could go for 6 more hours. But
Likewise.
I wanna bring it into
Mhm.
so as we start to close, like, for me, acting was a very spiritual practice, and I got to teach acting as well, and my analogy was that being an actor, it's like you have your human consciousness, and then you get to embody all these different roles, and for me, it was, like, one of the closest things you could do as a human, besides creating another human, right? Like, actual, like, birthing, it was one of the closest ways that I could try on what I assume it might feel like to be God or that which cannot be named, because I get to inhabit all these different characters in this one life, whereas God is animating all of us simultaneously. So I'm curious how acting has been a spiritual practice for you.
Oh, so it's purely a spirit. Like, I always say that I am the vessel. Like, there's Tatiana that currently embodies this vessel, and I think that every one of my characters is an actual soul that exists in the ether, and they're just looking for
Ooh, wait, say
a.
more about that. So, like, you get a script, you're reading it, and you're like tuning into the soul of that character in the script.
Yes, yes, because like
Whoa.
I think that even when it, for like a writer, the person that like, this person that's there came to this being to, like, that was the first vessel that it went through. Like, I need you to tell my story. And it's like, okay, like, and like it came through the writer, and it's like, yes, it's of the writer, but it's of something, like, where did that come from? And so then for me it's like, okay, I read the script, this character is, there is a whole person here. Like, no matter how, like, I think that also helped from coming from the world of theater, where my teachers would tell me there are no small parts, only small actors. So no matter how large or small, like, and the same way in your life, that the people that you come across, like, that was another who said of why did we make this hierarchy of people from like, oh, celebrities and things to like, oh, but you don't give you the celebrity you idol and the store clerk at the store the same. But it's like those lives are both still matter in such a grand degree. So my characters have this grand full life. They've lived a full life, and I only am conveying a snippet of it, whatever piece that they needed me to tell. Um, and that's when it comes to when I'm on set and things, like how I start my days is like I try to connect with the spirit. Like first I learn who this person is. I try to, and even like after, like, when I'm in my day to day, I as they come into mind, like if I see something that I normally that normally wouldn't call my attention, and I catch in that moment that's like, "Oh, is that you? Like, do you like this thing? Or do you
Oh.
like," is like, and so it's like, "Huh, okay," and basically befriend the spirit, become best friends with the spirit to allow them to trust me enough to then assume my vessel. And I
Ooh,
because
that's
there's
good.
been Thanks.
That's
Like,
really good. I've never ever heard anyone talk about acting like that. And I
mhm,
used to do it for a long time and teach it for a long time. I've never
mhm,
heard about anyone getting to know the spirit and the soul of that being. I have heard people say that any idea, any movie that's ever written, any character that's ever written, like you are creating an alternate universe by the
mhm,
birthing of that character. So that
mhm,
feels true to me. But
mhm,
the fact that you're inviting that soul in so that they will trust you to embody them
mhm.
feels really, really next level spirituality.
Because it there's been days and there comes times when, like, and I that's when I get frustrated with myself on set, is, like, when I can feel what I'm, uh the difference between embodying the spirit and trying to mimic it. Like, when I get frustrated when I haven't, and it's a frustration that comes out of, I guess, disappointment or hurt of, like, "What did I do that you won't you won't assimilate with me today?" Like,
Oof.
yeah, like, it becomes like a, like, 'cause I have a whole relationship with this soul, with this, like, and, like, it, yeah, and then I become disappointed in myself or disappointed in, like, like, "Oh, what have I done wrong here? What step did I miss in," like, or sometimes it points to, if I, even from the jump of, like, a certain scene or something, that I have already misunderstood it, like, and I have gone with this
Mm,
misunderstanding of it.
mm.
And so the soul goes, "Okay, well, I don't trust you in this one, like, because that's not, you're not listening." Like, and then I have to, and sometimes, and it'll happen on set sometimes where I have to come back and be like, "Okay, wait a minute. Okay, what am I missing? What did I not understand? What am I, like, I'm listening now. I'm so sorry that I was on my own thing for a second, and the human was doing, Tati was doing a different thing. But what do you need? What if, like," and reconnecting
But
there.
that's
So
really all nature's ever asking us to do, right? Like, come back, be here, listen.
mhm, mhm.
Oh, wow, Tati, you're brilliant and fascinating and clearly so gifted. And I'm so excited to deepen into your work and receive more of your spiritual practice in the form of your acting. I know that people are going to fall in love with you through this interview and conversation. And thank you for giving us a window into the depths of your personal practices. If people want to learn more about you or check out your work, or like where should people follow you? Where should people connect?
I guess I would say connect with me through the ether. Like, I'm always sending messages out, but, like, because I'm a horrible social media person. I need to find a better relationship with social media. Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying they don't have to connect. They don't have to like DM. You don't have to like DM
No,
them. I'm just saying that they want to
fair.
like follow you. Yeah.
Yes, okay. So you can follow me at you can follow me at Tati Gabrielle. You can
I'm not
see,
asking for like in the text.
but
I don't want your cell phone number out there on the internet.
even still, like, I might miss things, like, I don't post as often as I should. Like, my team gets on me about it. They're like, so, like,
Okay.
just be on the lookout.
Okay. So I think like Tati Gabrielle would be a good spot on Instagram. Do you have any
Yes.
shows coming up? You've been on You, the TV show. Any
Mhm.
other like shows coming up soon we should be on the lookout for?
I have Mortal Kombat 2 coming soon. It was,
Yes.
yes, it has recently been pushed to, it'll be coming out next summer or spring in May. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and that I'm
That's
very
a
much looking
huge deal.
forward.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. And I have a really wonderful video game that am starring in called Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. That I'm
What is it called?
super
Intergalactic what?
Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet.
Okay, so maybe I mean, look, I'm fascinated with you and I wanna keep going, so maybe that's a part 2 because
Fair.
we clearly have some intergalactic things to discuss.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
but truly, this has been such a delight. I've learned so much, and also I would just love to gift you, if it's helpful, I'd love to gift you the Ziva meditation training. It's
Oh,
15 days, it's like 16 years of my life poured into just 15 minutes a day, and if it might fan your flame or deepen your practice or absolve any of the anxiety, it would make me so, so happy to share that with you. So I'll send
I
it to
would
your
so
team.
appreciate that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because
And
sometimes I think too new.
any
Sorry,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, sometimes I think too new ways of doing things, new ways of practices. Like so, I would really
Mm.
love that. And yeah.
Well, my only caveat would be that, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And
Mhm.
clearly your spiritual practice is working. So I would not invite you to change what you are doing. I would
Yes.
keep that as
Yeah.
your sacred practice. You can call this thing Ramalama Ding Dong if you want to, but it is very, very effective at reducing anxiety and improving sleep and up leveling the connection to the unmanifest world. And, I mean, I'm biased, but I've been doing it every day, twice a day for 16 years. And it's such a gift. It's like my spiritual desert island. It's like in
Mhm,
a
mhm.
world of like everyone's doing ketamine with aliens and breath work and ayahuasca. Like, like if I had one tool, I would take this one onto my spiritual desert island.
I
So
love that. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
But
I'm
now you've
excited.
inspired me with the gratitude journaling because like gratitude, I've just doing a couple, but
Mhm.
everything you can think of is next level.
And it's if you have the time, just like whatever time you do have, like just yeah, as many things. Like don't limit it. Like there's an
Yeah.
and but you start to realize there's an infinite amount of things to be grateful for.
And enthusiastic gratitude for what is the fastest path to enthusiastic gratitude for what is on the way.
Mhm.
Okay, Tati Gabrielle, thank you so much for being a guest on Why Isn't Everyone Doing This? Sweet friends, if you enjoyed this, I would invite you to take a screenshot of it. Tell us what you learned. Tell us what are these spiritual practices you are going to start to implement. Tell us what you're most grateful for in your life. Use us
Mhm.
as your gratitude journal. Tag us on social media. And we will see you next week on Why Isn't Everyone Doing This? Goodbye. Thank you, Tati.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Emily.